This is the President McCormack Podcast with your host, Mark McCormack.
Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else out there, whatever you call yourself,
as, that's fine.
We have Brent, Tracy on the President McCormack Podcast today.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome, sir. I know, dude. It's the name. Dude, I argue with the name for a while.
Why? You've been that forever.
That's what I'm saying. So I haven't even done my introduction video yet. You're like the 12th or 13th podcast I've done because I'm like, I don't know what to say, but I'll figure it out. It's my Instagram handle, right?
Yeah, it's been that for 20 years.
Since the day it started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it came from a couple of my friends, like a couple of these girls I know were just teasing me, like, you're the president of like 10 different companies. And I'm like, oh, yeah, and it's like, yes, I just wrote President McCormack. And
I remember you always saying you were going to run for president. You still want to do that?
No, if there's a king position that opens up where I can just go fix some shit, I'm in.
Just go take over and be done.
Dude, dealing with Congress, I honestly do not have, it's not me.
Yeah, I don't think you would do well in that position.
No, I'll give some good speeches. I rally the troops. Yeah. There'd be some highlights from my presidency, but not being able to do anything that I want to actually do as president would drive me crazy.
Yeah, you'd have to jump through a lot of hoops.
Yeah, and the day you start, right, it's just like half the country hates you, half the country loves you automatically, and then there's like 5% in the middle are like, we'll see what he does.
Yep, let's figure it out.
I'd be good at international relations, though.
Yeah. I think you would. Yeah. You're already doing that for work, so.
I know pretty much.
I saw that new thing for Spain. How awesome is that?
It's super awesome. Super awesome. So, yeah, so we're dealing, not dealing, dude. We're lucky enough to be in communication with Real Madrid. And Real Madrid, just so a lot of people don't know this, but they have a basketball team over in Europe.
Because that's what I wanted. I wanted to see why a soccer team.
Yeah.
Are you dealing with what you're currently doing right now in business?
So Real Madrid's basketball is like the Lakers of Europe.
Oh,
they win the tournament all the time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They're probably Lakers and Boston combined. They're really, really good. Luka Doncic, if I can say his name right, came from that program.
Oh, okay.
I think the Gasol brothers have played in that. I mean, there's been a lot of NBA stars actually play over there, right? So what they're doing is they're building these things called ESC centers, right? And those ESC centers are basically like feeder programs, like kind of like the G League, right, for Europe, for the NBA. So Real Madrid's with that. I think the owner of the Suns is part of that program too. Okay. And so we bid them 5 floors, and then that's going to they're going to end up doing 9 of those. They're like in Italy, they're like in Taiwan or like Singapore, like they're all over the place. And so this is kind of the first prototype. And then they have a place called the Wizik Center, which I think is where Real Madrid basketball plays. And we're going to do 2 floors over there. And then Real Madrid Soccer Club, like the boys, right? Like there's a big difference between. Here. I mean, they're the greatest or the wealthiest or the most powerful sports team in the world, right? And they're ran by a committee. It's like stock ownership kind of thing. It's not owned by a family or anything like that. And so, they're very prestigious. They're very professional, great guys. Most of them speak English, thank goodness. A few of them do not. I have a translator, which is really hard. Yeah, because you're talking certain terms with, and my translator's great. I think. Yeah. Actually, I don't know. He's very nice to me.
But you have no idea.
I have no idea what he's saying on the other end. Yeah. But like it's interesting. So they just did a 1.6 billion euro addition to their already gorgeous stadium.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so, but they want to cut it in half, and they want to run basketball. They want to run hockey on one side. They want to buy turf through me. I mean, they have a $200 million grass. No. Just for the grass.
Oh, wow.
The grass all slides off in these huge trays and goes down underneath the ground, and it grows down there in these growing cells. Oh, Walter White would be impressed with the way that they're growing leaves and stuff, or grass and they're not leaves. But like, it's insane, dude.
How did you get that connection? Because I saw on Instagram you posted that you had the meeting.
Yeah.
And obviously you're opening doors with a lot of these professional teams. Yeah. But like, when you see Madrid, you're not thinking basketball at all.
No, in the U.S. you won't. So I have a contact down in Houston. His name's Jaime.
Okay.
And he's from Spain, and he connected us over there. He's kind of our sales agent on the deal.
Sweet.
And a lot of it's kind of still undefined a tad because we've got like quotes out, we got different things moving on. That ESC center actually opens December 1st. So I think we're working on procuring the equipment for that or the materials for that and all that,
That's fast.
Yeah, it's been in construction for a while. And so, I mean, Europe's got the same pain points we have in supply chain and global supply chain. And so, and they've kind of bought some floors from the Chinese area, I think, where they're not like American maple floors, like what we sell. We sell the literally Bugatti of floors, and they're kind of got like a nice Lexus.
Subaru.
Yeah, probably more like a Subaru. They're expensive, but they're, but for us, so ours are such an upgrade. They're NBA standard, I mean, there's only a couple companies in the world that do what we do, and we're quickly eating that market share completely up.
Dude, that's big. That's cool.
Yeah. So, and that's my, professional floor systems company. Yeah. And it's fun, man. I mean, we're doing a good job, and we're just, So, and that is, I mean, the Instagram obviously is the fun.
Yeah, it's the fun part.
The fun window of what we do all day, but yeah.
So I feel like I'm asking questions.
Good, man. Let me have it.
Okay.
Let me have it.
So you have a lot of things going on, because this is one of the things that I'm dealing with right now, where I have 3 businesses that I'm supposed to be building departments for. Mm-hmm. How do you manage your time? How do you allocate? Because obviously you have ADP, you have the flooring, you have all your investments, you have the fund, you have all these different things.
Yeah.
On a day-to-day basis, how do you allocate or determine where your time is going to be spent? And then, of course, when fires come or things come in, how do you then prioritize what's the most important or least important?
Good question. So first is prioritize, right? So you gotta do the stuff that cannot, the balls that cannot be dropped have to be taken care of no matter what. So if that goes to 2:00 in the morning, that's just what happens, right? From there, when I'm running efficiently, I break my day up into, first off, I build a process. When I fix problems, I build a process with them. I don't just fix it. I just don't fix a problem, right? So if there's something at ADP that's going wrong, and it's something that, if it's not just a little like, hey, there's some weird thing, those are normally snap judgments. Like, we'll do it this way. Okay, boom, then they're off. Those are really easy to fix. If there's a broken process, we actually go in, fix it, then we fix the process, and that problem doesn't pop back up in my face.
Okay, so you're eliminating that ever happening again.
Yeah. And
you're addressing it at that time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Part of that also is I have really, really good employees. And so having really good, competent employees that care, that get paid well, that mutual,
they're going to go above and beyond to make sure things are getting taken care of.
Yeah, they take care of me.
You to get involved.
Yeah, and that's really good. And that doesn't mean they're perfect. Doesn't mean I'm perfect, but we're common goal of trying to get stuff done. I always feel like something's sliding a little bit. It's just kind of a paranoia. I mean, when you're the president, so many different things. It's just like, for example, my investment fund, we could do way more deals than we do.
Yeah.
And I'll get to the point where we start really cranking those things out, but I'm never going to do a bad deal. So, because I'm a fiduciary for the guys that invest with me. So, I've got to make sure all those deals are perfect. But if I was only doing that, we'd be a little bit more, profitable is not the right word, because we'll make good money in every investment we do, but I could churn out 3 or 4.
Yeah, you'd be doing more deals than what you're currently at right now.
Yeah. And so there's been times in my career, in my life, where I've had to chop businesses that I was involved in out, and just be done. Be honest with myself and say, this just takes too much time. And I've also sacrificed some time with my kids throughout their life that I'll never ever get back, and so I have to weave that in better now. And so,
do you feel, because this is one of the things, the kids side of it? I mean, I don't know how much you want to go in, because
deep as you want, man.
I will go as deep. I've been looking forward to this because, I mean, all the friendship and growing up and knowing each other and that kind of stuff. One of the things about you, Mark, that's really interesting is people get success, and you hear the term narcissistic, or you hear that a lot, and that usually is associated with success. Watching you genuinely care about individuals that you surround yourself with, and you're not too good for anyone. And so with that, though, but there's been some sacrifices that you've had to do, whether that's with Michelle or kids and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I'm dealing with right now that I'm trying to wrap my head around, especially with divorce, is I'm set up for failure as a father just because a divorce happened.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good of a dad I am, doesn't matter how much attention. Naturally, because of the time that I'm not with my children, because of the circumstances that we're in, there's daddy issues, if that's what you want to call it. And
Sure.
so I'm dealing that with my 12-year-old right now.
Yeah.
But as I think of, okay, divorce, but then when you go into business, how are you not making up, because I don't think it's making up for lost time.
Yeah.
But how old's Brea? How old's she?
12.
She is 12. So she's same age as Maddie. Mm-hmm. So how are you at this point in time making sure that she's getting the attention that she needs with the busy schedule, with the businesses, with everything that you got going on in your life?
So I did my OCD ass years ago with my wife came up with a plan.
Really?
And that plan was, I'm going to go out and make as much money as I can and invest our money and do really, really well, the best of my ability, right? And she was going to raise the kids.
Okay.
We've almost executed that perfectly.
Awesome.
Kinda. The consequence of that was, our plan is when they became teenagers or 10, 12, 13, right, in this little band right now, literally right now in my life, is where I step up and kind of take phase 2 from Michelle. She raised the little babies. They were always safe. They were always taken care of. Mama was always there. Dad was, it wasn't like I was an absent father, but like.
Yeah, but you're building, you're growing.
Flown all over the country, did deals, made relationships, and sacrificed some time with them to where, like the private equity game is, you got to know some wealthy dudes that have some good money that trust you.
Yeah.
Well, you can't get trust if you don't have experiences with people.
Yeah.
And so I've had to build those. But now I'm integrating them into my business,
okay.
right? And I have a plan to where I go from the business all the way till they're 25, right? So I've been building up stocks for them, investment funds, different things along the way. When they all turn 18, I'll buy them all rental properties, and they're going to become little landlords. And I can't wait to watch them take a beat down being a landlord. And then
go fix the water heater.
Yeah, and hopefully by the time they get to 25, they'll have a decent net worth, and I'll have taught them along the way. It's like, okay, this is how you actually take yourself to this level, and if you do it and I approve of it, I'll give you your net worth. Okay. If you don't, I won't give it to you until you actually earn it. Yeah. Now we'll see how that really all pans out, but that's kind of our plan. Is I want to get them to 25 where they're very capable, they can make their own money, they're responsible for certain things. It's partly the reason why we homeschool. Homeschool, we got forced into that with COVID, but the more we do it, the more we're like, oh, this is way better. You know what I mean? And I feel bad sometimes because a lot of people can't do that, right? And I'm not really like, be like me. If you're not like me, you're screwing your kids up. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm really saying it's like we have the opportunity to do this. Yeah. And quite frankly, even with the homeschooling, man, I'm a little jealous of my wife. When I say a little, I'm a lot jealous of my wife. Like, she gets to spend so much time with our kids.
And seeing that development, seeing their ideas, seeing everything come through. That's true.
And the good thing in my family, you cannot ask my kids which parent they love more. They will not say one or the other.
Oh, really?
I thought Harper would one time. She won't. They will not. I love mom and dad. Like, we are the same energy.
That's cool, though.
It's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but so with my son this week, he's playing football for the first time, tackle football, right? So I'm going to all the practices. I missed 2 concerts. I had 4 tickets last night to Newfound Glory, and they just went to Nowheresville, and I'm just like, whatever. I'm not missing this stuff. Like, there's just certain things I have to implement in. I bring them to work more now. By the time they're 14, 15, they will be coming to work probably 6 hours a day.
But so for those that listen to this, I know where that stems from, but why does that stem from? Why is that important to you?
It's important to me that...
Like, where did you learn that, I guess, is the right question.
Oh, I learned that from Papa Ray.
Yeah, Papa Ray had your butt out there when you were 14, 12, or what, I can't remember the age.
8 for me. It was the first time I worked in the shop,
Wow.
So, but we started doing summers at 12, 13, between 7th and 8th grade. I'm not sure how old I was back then. It's just, you start paying for your own stuff. I mean, my kids, they'll hit that little area where it's like, yeah, you want to go buy $400 pair of jeans, knock yourself out, make your own money.
Yeah, good.
And I'm not your traditionalist when it comes to school. My kids will not go to college.
Okay, I like this topic. Why?
The only way they're going to college is if they turn 25 and they say, Papa. Just kidding, I don't make it vulgar. They'll say, Daddy, I really want to be a doctor. And I'll be like, okay, if you want to be a doctor, then you're going to go be a scrub nurse with some of my doctor friends for 6 months. And if you come back to me and say that's 100% what you want to do, I'll let you go do it. Now they're adults, they can do whatever the hell they want, right? But like, you're not going to get Dad's blessing going and doing that crap. And the reason why is, every freaking podcast I end up going on, I talk about this, which it's just the return on investment is terrible for college. It's really, 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 really bad. Unless you're going to go be a doctor or a lawyer, there's no reason to be a lawyer, right?
Yep.
Most lawyers bounce out of the law anyways.
Because that's the track you were on originally.
That's the exact track I was on. Yeah. Got into law school. Luckily didn't go. Yeah. Even though I love school, I love college. I did really well. Yeah. Not so well in the LSAT. But I did really well in school. They call it 150. It was like freaking right down the middle. And I'm a white guy, and I've got no culture because I'm from Utah, and good GPA. I needed to be like I don't even know what the freak would get me in there now. So.
But I mean, the educational system, because I've even seen this. Like, I'm pushing my boy. He's in public school, but he wants nothing to do. He wants to go to trade school, so he wants to be an electrician. He wants to own his electrician company.
Awesome.
And be that. But it's like interesting to see the difference between a lot of the kids that he runs around with.
Yeah.
Because they have zero desire to do anything.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's where you have a huge influence, you and Michelle, to where you can kind of mold that idea or vision or goals with your kids to where it's just not a babysitting. Send your kids to public school for babysitting.
Exactly.
Because that's I mean, yes, they are learning a curriculum. Is it the best? No. But it's just giving the parents the opportunity to go and work.
Yeah.
And so it puts them in a position, and that's where I love where Wade's at 15 years old. He's like, no, next year I'm going trade school. I'll have my master's electrician when I think he's 24.
Yeah.
And he's done. He can go do his own thing. But
and he will make really good money and have a very enjoyable profession.
Because no one wants to do the work.
Yeah.
I'm sure you see that in the flooring. Anything construction now, he'll be able to write his own paycheck because they can't hire enough people to do it. But I think it's sad that this next generation coming up is not driven.
They're not. We sound like we're 90 years old when we say that. But
isn't that crazy?
The problem is it's the flipping truth. I have let me think about this. One 20-year-old that works for me right now out of maybe 10 or 12 that we've tried to hire the last 4, 5, 6 years, they just can't hack it, And I just don't know what the plan is. I really don't. Brea, she wants to direct movies. She wants to make movies. Cool. That's her jam. So we bought her a whole bunch of software, and she got the computer downstairs, which is a really nice, powerful Mac. It's my old Mac for my computer or for my office. She's actually sat behind the cameras down here probably for 4 or 5 of these things. The summer's great because I just drag them around all over the place. And my whole thing with her is it's like mentor wins every single time. So if I get her to a base knowledge of how to make a movie and how to edit a movie and how to direct and all that kind of stuff, all I've got to do is go through my network, which is pretty vast.
You got enough connection.
And I can get right to a decent director. And I'll just be like, hey, will you do me a favor? Or I'll call in a favor with somebody. It's like, my daughter's really into this. But here's another thing. These directors, they know how freaking hard it is to become a director. You get a 21-year-old girl that spent the last 5 or 6 years sending a couple of movies into the Sundance Film Festival. All these little film festivals are all over the place, trying her best, just have a little resume. They'll snatch her up in 2 seconds.
For sure.
If I had anyone, people I mentor, it's like as soon as they're just like, hey, I'll do anything. I don't care. Don't pay me. I'll just anything I can to learn your knowledge. You want to give your knowledge, especially when you've been successful. And I think that's the same for all my kids. Nixon, he's got ideas of what he wants to be, but he's 10.
Yeah, he's 10. He's not there quite yet.
But any kid of mine that wants to do a profession, I'm pretty sure, other than an astronaut, You know what I mean? I could find them a mentor and they can go knock it out for 3 months.
Do you feel so with the mentor side of it? Because obviously you've been mentored, you mentor. I know there's one person that works for you. I cannot remember his name, but for some reason, he knows my parents. He went on a mission with my parents.
Oh, yeah, Tanner.
Tanner. He's younger, right?
Yep.
But he's a go-getter.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, when you're looking to mentor people or to get that drive, because I don't think kids even understand that they can go ask questions to people that are willing to give up. I didn't know this until 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Of like, hey, people that are super successful want to give that information to people that are ready to listen. It's not that they're just trying to keep everything to themselves, which a lot of people think, oh, whoever's successful is keeping all that.
Yeah.
It's they want to share that, but they only want to share it to people that are actually going to go execute, listen.
Yeah,
that care about the information they're getting. How do you pinpoint those people?
Funny enough, the way that I was told to do this, so was in college.
Don't want to go to college.
But I had a really, really good guy that he taught the leadership program there. So I graduated from the Center of Advancement of Leadership, right? I was one of the first 2 people to get a high distinction thing, right? And his name is Bruce, and I met with him a bunch of times. He was a mentor of mine, right? Kind of a light mentor, you know. Like he would have done way more if I would have asked of him. But you know, I was married and trying to get freak through school and just get over with it so I can make some money, right? He basically said to me, he goes, "Mark, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I actually wanted to go work for Sony BMG and be a talent scout." You know, at one point. Yeah, because I was still trying to be a rock star in my head, you know. Now I just do it in my basement, you know.
Say, now you just rip on the guitar downstairs.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I really like the financial world though. I'm really into investing. I just love that. And he literally looks me in the face and he goes, "Mark, there's 2 things you should do then if you want to do then one of those. Number 1, he goes, go move down to California, sit in the lobby every day of Sony BMG, and every time the CEO walks in or the president or whoever that's like top of that office, you just say, 'Hey, sir, I'll work for free. I'll be here tomorrow.' And you sit your ass there all day, every day till that dude hires you." Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Really?" And he's like, "Oh, absolutely." He goes, "If that's not the one you want to take," he goes, "I have unlimited connections on Wall Street and in New York." He goes, "You can go live with I can't remember if it was his brother or his best friend." He goes, "He's got a guest room. You can go live there and you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to stand there and work for free until you are valuable enough for them to pay you."
Interesting.
It's almost like the pursuit of happiness thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That movie got me. I cried in that one too.
Absolutely.
I think most people with a soul cried in that one.
Yes, you have to cry on that one.
But like, that is the that's the thing. You know, there's easier ways to do it. But like, if you're determined, right? I mean, if I'm that guy, right, and I got this kid that's just like, especially me because I'm 6'7", right? I'm a big boy. Yeah, it's just like you go, you know, it's just like, "Anytime, sir." You know, it's just like, it would take me 2 days probably. I'd probably ignore him the first day, quite frankly, you know, because it's like, I don't have time for this buffoonery, right? Yeah. By the second or third day, I'd be like, "Okay, come up to my office for a minute." And I'd not tear into him, but I'd be like, "What's your plan? What do you want? Like, where are you really at? How capable are you?" I would see where he's at, and then I'd just be like, "Well, I'll think about it." Go back down to the lobby. You know what I mean? I'd probably give it 3 or 4 total days. If he really stuck it out, because I'd be like, "Okay, cool." Then I'd bring him in and be like, "Hey, you really going to work for free? You going to keep your word?" You know what I mean? Like, you're not just trying to say that to get an actual job out of me. I'd throw him in something. And dude, that's it. Once you're in, you're in. Yeah. You know? And every employer, dude, the thing that just cracks me up, man, these days is people are like, "Oh, anti-capitalism and all this kind of stuff." And it's like all these evil guys. And it's like, dude, like me, you're an awesome salesman for me, bro. I'm freaking paying you anything. You just tie the performance into the profitability of the product that they're selling, and it's like a no-brainer. You don't cap the top. Let them fly. Yeah. You know, and so it's hard to find those people, but when you find them, you find them. But I guess, I mean, long answer, right? You just got to identify the people you want to be your mentor and just go for it. Now, it's good to have people in your life that can be like, well, if you want to be a politician, you don't want to have the president be your mentor. For right? Sure. It's ridiculous, you know? Mostly because he's ridiculous. Well, yeah. You won't even remember your name tomorrow. But you know what I mean? Like, you've got to find somebody. You got to find somebody that can that has the time and the capacity to do that, and then you just got to make that happen. Now, if you can find one of their friends to let you in on it, even better.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah.
It's interesting. I mean, and that's why I asked that question. I've been mentored, you know, by some of the guys you met down there, and I still pick their brains. But I also don't want to overdo it. So from the other side is how often, at what point of pushing, saying, hey, I want to learn,
Yeah.
does it get annoying to you to where you're like, hey, I can't really invest that much more time to you?
Yeah.
So like I'll go and I'll have a big decision. I present the, like, even just with this thing with Brett, like the whole leaving that and going and taking on this, I called them up and I said, okay, here's my comp plan. Here's this. Here's my personal finances. This is how long I could go making no money.
Yeah.
Like, and then I haven't talked to him for 5 months.
Yeah.
And then today he just called me about some hunting stuff, but it's like, I don't want to overdo it, but I also want to be able to get as much knowledge out of it as I possibly can.
Yeah. So to answer your question, you need to bring value to them.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
But in your specific circumstance, right, they probably look at you like you're crazy that you don't hunt full time. Would you
True.
assume? I think they go, Brent is so freaking good at this. Why is he not doing this full time? They might know the answer to that, right? And I would talk to them about that.
Yeah, but hunting doesn't bring in money.
It depends.
I mean, yeah, if you own the ranch and you own, that's true.
Yeah, you know how to make money in freaking hunting.
I know how to make money in hunting.
Yeah.
Like I know how to make money in hunting, but it takes land.
Yeah.
And land's so dang expensive right now that it's like, yeah, you got to have an investor for that if you're going to do it. You got to have someone that's got, you know, good stockpile that's willing to go a longer time, because I feel like in hunting it takes a lot longer for your ROI.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to do that full time. I hate chasing what I'm chasing now.
But that's the thing, though, right? Well, I mean, you're trying to chase a good life for your family.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, then there's a balance to that, right? I mean, this one might be a hot take, right? But there's a lot of people, man, that make decisions in their 20s that will put barriers up for them
For sure.
the rest of their life, and those barriers can be knocked down with a hell of a lot of courage and some good competency, right? But you got to knock them down. You know.
So what are my barriers, since you know me?
Well, I'm not going to say those.
I want you to.
Your barriers?
Yeah, I want to know outsider's perspective of me, and I want you to be brutally honest right now.
Oh, geez, man.
You want this to be a good episode? Let's get into it.
They're all good episodes.
I know they're all
on the
good
President
episodes.
McCormack
I'm
podcast.
just saying. I wore my fancy shirt for you. I gotta.
No, one of the barriers. I mean, well, being divorced is a barrier
For sure.
right? Because if you're going to be around your kids, you probably have to stay in Utah, right? Because you can't take them out of the state.
Yep.
You know, and so you will always have that pressure in the back of your head of these two beautiful children that you have and being a part of their life, right? Those barriers do go away because they're going to turn 18.
For sure.
You know, but then you're going to be 45, 6, 7, somewhere in there, right? And so, you know, a lot of and there's trauma from that, you know. I mean, you've had some stuff, you've had some failures, right?
Absolutely.
You know, I actually feel like I want to prepare a letter for you and actually think about this and give it to you more than just free float on a podcast.
Really?
Yeah,
I
because I freaking love your ass, dude. That's why. It's one of my freaking downfalls, right?
Because
I love everybody.
I know and I know you shouldn't really care what other people think about you, but I also know there's things that you see that I don't.
Yeah.
But then there's also things that I justify that I shouldn't justify.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So like the divorce thing. Oh, it's like, okay, I got to do this for my kids, and now it's turned into an excuse, not an opportunity.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I make decisions based off of, hey, I got responsibilities. I have to take care of this. And so it doesn't allow me to then go chase what I know makes me happy.
Yeah.
And so,
Well, here's one I'll tell you that a lot of people have, and you might have this, I don't know for a fact, right? When you hit a certain income level, people get real complacent.
Yeah.
Right? I shot through that like a freaking rocket.
What you have to do to be in your position.
Yeah. So, I mean, people, quite frankly, what I've kind of seen over the years is once people in Utah hit about 135,000 and above, they're just like, oh,
yeah,
time to go on vacation, and I just gotta, just gotta be a soldier in the Army. I'm also a guy though that thinks that working for another person is a really good thing most of the time, right? I don't think you have to be a business owner to be like wealthy or like successful or anything like that, right? I think that working for other people is a great opportunity. For example, if you're working like your company you work for right now, you could bring in, some sort of a product line, and say, hey, I'm going to take care of my job, what you pay me for now. I'm going to dedicate 2 more hours a day to this new product line, and I want X amount of the profitability on this. You will do nothing other than fund it, right? All day, every day, that business owner is going to be like, abso-freaking-lutely, right? But do you have a barrier to have that confidence? Are we punching the clock at 5 and just getting home really, really quick? And how much time do we spend watching TV? How much time do we spend playing video games? How much time do we spend hanging out on the weekends? You know what I mean? That stuff is all important. You need to do some of it, right? But yeah, those are like the barriers that I'm talking about, I guess. Yeah. Like where am I really spending my time? You're obviously married now, so you got to spend time with your spouse currently, and she's got 4 daughters, right?
4 daughters, yeah.
And they're all married, having babies.
2 grandkids.
Yeah, I mean, that's just more and more
weird.
things.
At 39 years old, I get to say I have 2 grandkids.
I love it. I think, so how old's the oldest grandkid though? Weren't you like 37 when you became a granddad?
Yeah, well, our first one passed away, and then the second, she's 2. Yeah, 2. No, I don't know. This is so bad. I should know this.
Yeah, that's okay. Let's just go 2.
2. So yeah, 37.
Pound right through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've made okay money, not great money. I would say I have a little bit of that.
Yeah.
One of the things I've noticed, even when Brett and I were working together and we were business partners, I feel, and I'm learning this about myself, I have to be accountable to someone.
Yeah.
And I
make that person yourself.
And that's what I have to figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Because if not, then I am going to be that person that has to work for someone, and I'll make 200 to 500, 600, whatever that number is.
Yeah.
I can make that and create a good life. But when it's like, okay, I want to go hunting, I want to have my money make me money so that I can go do that.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. And so that's what I've realized with what's taken place there, and now going back into the corporate America world, is I have to be accountable, but I'll work 12-hour days. Like I have no problem working. Yeah. Like I'm not a 9 to 5 punch out. It's a 7 to 7. I have no problem with that. Go home, do an hour's worth of whatever, and then hang out with my wife.
Yeah.
And so that part of it I don't have a problem with, but it's the ability or the trust to say, I can do this myself. I don't need Mark saying, okay, this is how the business runs. This is what it is. Now go execute, because I thrive in that. Yeah. I can go do a good job at that and make sure that I'm hitting all the checkpoints you want me to hit.
Yeah.
But then how do I change that into those checkpoints are my checkpoints?
You got to define it. So here's something that's hard for me right now. I'll share with you.
Yeah.
So I joined this guys group, right? We Are the They.
I know.
We're in Jimmy's place. I jumped off a cliff.
Which was crazy that you did that.
I still can't believe I did it. I watched the video now and I'm like, wow, you did it.
Yeah.
But the thing that's funny with that, so I was hesitant to do it because I'm a very motivated guy, right? So a lot of these guy groups, right, they get, it's just the rah. It's the get your ass in there, bro. And I just grind. And I'm just like, all the time. So stupid. Yeah. The yelling at people, the freaking just the garbage that comes out of that. It just drives me nuts, right? Because it's like, it's not constructive. I haven't read a self-help book in freaking 10 years because they're all the same, right?
It's just their perspective of the same principles.
Yeah. And every time you say like, oh, you read this book? It's like, what is it? It's like, oh, it's this guy. And he's like, just go do it, bro. And I like read it and got really, really motivated and did nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, of course, because you've read this book 1,000 times. How many times are you going to watch the same movie? You know what I mean? And so, but with this group, so the cliff thing is interesting, right? So it was funny. So I was very vocal and adamant that I was not going to jump off that cliff.
You were telling everyone you were going to go?
Oh, I told Jimmy the day I signed up.
Oh, right? Before
I even signed up, I was like, I'll do everything but that cliff. And he laughs, right? He thinks it's funny. because he understood what was going to actually happen. You know, I went in there like a little lamb to the slaughter kind of thing. But like, so I'm sitting there, and my friend Ryan Bingham, right? He's a great dude, right? Super successful football player, right? Played for the Chargers for 7 years. Me and him are like just bros in this thing, right? We really become bros with everybody, but like me and Ryan are both like, we were accountability partners from the very beginning, right? I mean, we've had 10 conversations. There's no way in hell we're jumping off this thing. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Too big. What if the rope breaks?
Yeah, freaking screw it. I don't have to do it. Tell me what to do. I'm successful. I don't need to, blah, 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 right? And so even the night before, Jimmy gives like this big old speech, right? Like, oh, if you don't do it, it'll hurt you, like all this kind of stuff. Dude, I wanted to argue with him during the thing. I didn't want to be disrespectful for us to shut my mouth, right? But I was like, dude, what's it going to do for me? You know, oh, you'll leave all your crap at the top of there. What crap? I don't have crap. You know, like I don't have some big secret I got to get out, dude. I don't have this like guy that won't do that's like, paralyzed and all this kind of stuff, right? And so I go to bed. And it's like freaking midnight by the time we go to bed, right? It was really fun. This whole week, it was really fun. And I woke up at 4 to take a pee, took my CPAP machine off. I walked in there, I'm in there peeing, and I'm just like, why are you such a stubborn bugger, And I'm like, shut up, So I go back in there, put my CPAP machine back on. I'm just like, trying to go back to sleep, dude. And it's just like running through my head. I'm like, you're going to freaking screw this whole thing up. You are going to screw this whole thing up because Ryan won't jump. There's going to be 10 other guys that won't jump. And your friend Jimmy has put this thing together to help these guys. You selfish piece of shit, right? That's what I was seriously thinking. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to do this though. Like people can't make me do what I don't want to do. It's almost like I was like choosing to be like
rebellious.
Let me tell you something. Mark handles his own stuff. You don't need to tell me what to do. Like I will do what I need to do. I'm like the most dependable bro ever, right? Yeah. And literally I just go, shut up, you're going first, you're going to lead these guys.
You went first?
I went first.
For real?
Very first.
Did everyone else go after?
Every single person jumped.
Oh, wow.
Not one person did not jump. And so, so you drive over there for like an hour, right? So I wake up in the morning, right? And I'm just determined now. I'm like, okay, I'm going first. And I can't make any other decisions that day. I didn't really eat breakfast. I didn't really do anything. I put clothes on. Bam, I'm going first. Jumping. Because if I do it, everyone else will fall in line, right? And so you drive 55 minutes to get there. Then you got a quarter mile walk out to this thing. And bro, I'm like you're seeing the valley, right? Because it's like flat and then it's just like a drop, right? I'm just like, not looking at anything, kind of doing this whole thing. Put the harness on. I told everybody, all right, I'm going first. And dudes are like, you know what I mean? Like you're going first.
A couple days before.
Yeah, 6 hours. 6 hours ago, you were like, "Hell no, I'm not going." Good luck. I'll sit there in the tent. I can't wait to rah you guys on. Go leave your garbage at the top of the hill, right? And so I'm like, it's so funny, man. And so I walk up to Ryan, right, because he's in my group, right? I'm like, I'm going first. He's like, word, just like, you're really jumping? He's like, oh, dude, if you jump, then I have to jump, kind of thing. And I can't remember the conversations we were having, but it was like, that's the way I was feeling,
tunnel
right?
vision.
And so I'm not going to cry in this episode.
You should cry.
But, we'll see. And so I always dreamt of playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
And the one regret I have is I never tried, right? The whole story behind that, some other podcasts will cover that, right?
Yeah.
Ryan played in it. He got to live my dream. And I just I'm like, not envious of him, but I'm like proud of him almost. Yeah. I'm like, God damn, Ryan, good for you, bro. You freaking did it, And I'm so happy you got to experience all this stuff. So then there's all these guys there, right? And there's a lot of dudes with some crap in their life, and they don't really know who to talk to or like who to mentor them. And some of them are like semi-successful and really successful. And some of them are like just on the path barely, right? And I just had this thing where I was like, dude, like as I'm walking down to the cliff, I'm like, I'm going to do the Michigan sway, which is that big circle and you all just sway back and forth, right? And then the guy gets in the middle, Ray Lewis, right? And I go to Ryan, I'm like, we're doing this and you're going to be in the middle. You're going to pump everybody up.
Cool.
And he's like, all right. He's down for anything, right? So we start swaying, right? We're going back and forth, right? And the intensity level wasn't quite where I could have got it, right? Because I was pissing my pants. And so I'm like grabbing these dudes. I'm like, no, you got to get into this, right? And the energy starts going, right? And I'm like, go, Ryan, and it's a very colorful language in the middle of this circle, right? And it's just like, let's freaking go. Yeah. Let's go. In fact, they had the video of it. It's going to be posted on Instagram. Cool. I'll end up sharing it. Oh, dude, it was intense.
Wait to see that.
I mean, all the staff were just like, This is crazy. Because I'm just like, let's go. And Ryan's like, today we have a job to do. And dude, it's literally like my mind just shot into the freaking stadium. And I'm there and I'm like, I finally got to experience this because I'm not going to do anything as intense as playing the NFL, but this cliff.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, boom, boom. And I'm just, dude, I'm freaking loving it, right? And my heart's pounding, dude. I'm just like, oh, yes, 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 yes. Just like freaking bringing that energy in, you know, just soaking it in. It's like crazy. I almost feel like a hippie talking about it, right? And then he's just like, let's effing go, right? And we all jump in the middle, dude. We're all screaming at dude. We're all grabbing each other, just like in football, right? Keep in mind, I got my harness on. I turn around and I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. I'm like walking over the same, like, don't do it. Hold my hell, Mark. No, no, no. And all in my head, right? And I walk over to this guy and he just looks at me and he goes, Mark, okay, here's what we're going to do, right? And they all knew I was going first, right? And they're all, here's what happens, Mark. I'm gonna walk over there. I'm going to hook myself in. You're going to walk up and put 4 ropes on you, right? And then you're going to say to me, get out of my way. And what you're actually saying to me is I represent all your crap, your sins, your dirt, your good, your bad, your evil, everything. And then when you jump, you leave me behind forever and you become a new guy. And then when you come back out of this thing, you're gold, right? Yeah. You're good to go. You're just going to leave all the crap, right? I'm like, okay. And dude, there's just like a little guy back here. It's just like, what are you doing?
Don't do it.
Like, dude, this is a cliff. I haven't even looked over the edge the whole time. And this is probably a 15-minute build-up, 20-minute build-up. You know, they got to get everything ready. And I'm just like, I walk up to him, dude. He hooks me into these ropes, and they're like pulling me forward, right? Because there's tension on them. And I'm like holding it like, whew. And I just look at him. He goes, what do you want to say to me? And I go, get out of my way. And he steps to the side. I jump off, bro. I'm free falling 20 feet down and I go, I cannot believe I jumped. I cannot believe I did this. And then I'm like, I can't believe this thing hasn't caught me yet. Cause you were like, you fly down like 250 feet.
I was going to say you're in limbo for a long time where you can think.
It was so weird that it didn't even get my stomach. It was all like up here.
Just all mental.
Yeah, you get in those little roller coasters, you get your stomach. No stomach at all, dude. I'm just like looking down and you're all hauling at the cliff, right? Or at the bottom of the cliff. It grabs me, it pulls me, and it shoots me back up, right? And I'm like, and all of a sudden it was like the most peaceful, serene thing ever because you're just like flying out in this cliff, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm 325 pounds, 321 today. I've been still losing weight. Boy. And I go to crest up to the top, and I like feel like the need to cry. And I'll cry if I feel like crying, you know? And then all of a sudden it just stops, dude. And I literally say out of my mouth, I'm proud of you.
Oh, cool.
And I'm like, whoa, dude, like, I've never actually orally said I'm proud of myself. Then I come flying back down. I'm so heavy, I come back in and I touch my feet off the side of the cliff, right? Twice. Bink. You know? I kind of jumped crooked, I guess, is what they said to me. Whatever. I just jumped. Just freaking went for it. So then they haul you back up to the top, right?
Yeah, because don't they have to pull you up?
Yeah, so they bring
to bring you.
Yeah, well, they have a motor, right? So they click you down, and the whole thing takes like 8 minutes, right? I'm down there, dude. I'm trembling like crazy. I've never trembled. I don't do that, you know? Anyways, I get to the top of the thing. I'm glad this podcast is all about me.
No,
anyway, so
we can talk about me later, but I was hearing your stories.
So I get to the top, and all my friends are there, right? So Nick Howland, right, my good buddy, dude, he's there, first guy to hug me, and by the way, they're all cheering on the way down. And then I get up, they're all cheering, everyone's hugging me, dude. Jimmy hugs me second, dude. Ryan's there, all my other bros are there, like every one of these dudes, and it's like this crazy freaking feeling, right? And then I got to go where I'm good. And that is to lead every other bro off that cliff. Yeah. Right? And I'm just like, let's go, dude, let's go. And everyone's just like, the big boy went. Like they almost don't have a choice. Yeah, you know what I mean? And the energy's wild and it's so cool. Everyone's loving it. It's hotter than Hades out there. You know what I mean? And there was one guy, his name's Alan. I hope he appreciates this, right? And he was pretty nervous. He's a little bit bigger boy like me. You know what I mean? A little bit shorter. And I walked up to him, gave him a little bit of a pep talk, right? Because he's got some stuff going on. And dude, he straps in, he's a poly, right? And dude, I'm like 10 feet away from him, dude. I'm surprised you can't hear me on the freaking video, right? And dude, he's nervous. Everyone's nervous, right? It's not like anyone just went up there and was like, hey, you know?
Like, fun, you know?
And dude, he starts doing the hukka, right?
Oh, really?
But my advice to everyone was like, mission first, boys. Step up, tell him to get out of your way, jump. Boom, boom, boom. Don't think about it. So he starts doing the hukka, right? And I'm screaming on the side of him like, the hooker won't save you, effing jump! Like losing my voice, right? And he gets like, I don't know, 5 seconds into it, he's all, freaking screw it, and just jumps off this thing, dude. And dude, but it was like, every time someone jumped, the whole group was just like, yes!
That's so
you
cool.
know? It was so cool, dude.
So with the feeling of leaving, were you even thinking about what you needed to leave behind?
No, I didn't leave anything behind.
Okay.
I guess fear of jumping off that particular cliff that day.
That was the thing.
It was the thing that it did for me is now that, and he's going to make us walk on coals, and I'm sure I'm going to get in a really cold ice bath and some other stuff, right? Whatever Jimmy comes up with. I'm just kind of like, well, I'll be first. I'll just go do it, you know. But I did feel a very sense of like, okay, you led a little bit. Not that I'm the leader of the group or anything, but it was like,
no, but you did.
You set some standards there.
10 other people do it because you did it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Well, and so when the second group came, because there's 50 of us, so they broke us into two groups, right? So when the other guys came, the guy's like, hey, did you jump? I was like, yeah, I went first. He's like, oh, shit.
Now
I was going to sit next to you the whole time. And I was like, not anymore, motherfucker.
I'm not in that
In fact, here you go.
Yeah, here's the
harness.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was cool. But like, so kind of what you're asking, I tell that huge long story about me to make this all about me, to tell you, you kind of need to create those situations in yourself. Right? That whole weekend was about resetting mindset. I'm like, what's important? What's your goals? And what I have a huge problem with is I'm successful in a lot of different areas, not to be braggy, but like I don't really have a lifelong goal right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't have this whole like, well, make $1 million. Well,
yeah.
Been there, done that, right? Like have a good relationship with your wife. Have a great relationship with my wife, you know?
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that, by the way. Brent is the man who set me and my wife up on our first date. And that will go down in history, man.
I'm always part of your life. Whether you like me or not, I'm always there.
And, but yeah, I mean, I think, so my advice is literally the same advice I'm giving myself is like, you've got to take the quiet moments, whether you pull over on the side of the road and just say, I need to come up with some goals that I really want to accomplish, that really matter to you. Like, I don't want to start a business. Whoop-de-frickin' do. Started 1 million of them, right? I need to do fulfilling things, right? And so for me, the goal that I currently have is I'm taking my kids to 25. That's like my thing. Yeah. That's my big goal right now is I'm kind of a place for shelter for some people from the storm. And I'm going to take those kids, I'm going to get them to 25. I'm going to let them get beat up along the way so they know what that's like, because you can't have good without the bad. You really can't. And that's kind of my goal. And I think, and with that goal, see, I don't ever have a make X amount of dollars goal every year or month or week. It's always increase your net worth. So it's always increasing my net worth. That's the only thing I care about when I run my Excel spreadsheets, when I get real nerdy. It's like, hey, what did or did not increase my net worth along the way? Because at the end of the day, right, I'm just trying to get to retirement age, which hopefully for me is 50. Yeah. Right? And then it's like, yeah, you built this. You know, people say empire. I kind of hate that word. It gets cliche-ish. But, you know, you built this system and this process that it will now pay you to live the rest of your life because you did correct things along the way, you know. And doing the correct things is making mistakes along the way. And so I think for you to turn that internally, right, you probably have a barrier up where you're like, oh, I need a safety net. You might need to clip that safety net. And one of the best ways to do that is to jump off a 300-foot cliff in my lap because there ain't no damn safety net. And my gosh, do you realize that when you're flying down? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I say I don't know if I could do it. I'd be afraid of having a heart attack on the way down.
You would do it. Everyone would do it. If you have the energy that we had when we were there, everyone does it.
For sure.
That's why Jimmy had a grin from ear to ear when I got up, and I was just like, you're welcome.
I told you so. He's back there like, yep, I knew you'd do it.
Yeah. And he's a good dude, man. I mean, and that's the kind of thing with him, right? I mean, he's doing these guy groups because that's really his calling in life. Yeah. You know, I mean, he's a great real estate agent. You know, I'm sure he's invested really, really well. Me and him haven't really talked about investing all that much.
But the fulfillment side, like you're talking about, that's probably where, I mean, that's where he's getting his fulfillment.
Yeah, he says a lot that he's a good connector of men, right? He is. You know, I think a lot of his success comes from helping people connect and, you know, that kind of stuff. And so maybe a guy group like that would be good for you, you know, if you like that kind of stuff or feel like you need it, or you can just create it too. Yeah. Grab 5 guys. I'll be one of your dudes. You know me. Yeah. So I'm not jumping off a cliff again. I checked that box.
No, I mean, I say I won't, but I'd do it. But I don't know. It's an interesting thing I'm going through the last 6 months because that's one of the things I'm realizing is there are safety nets put in place.
Yeah.
And I have to get rid of them. Or I just do what I do and that's what it is, but that's not fulfilling.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm feeling like right now is I'm good at what I do. I know I can be successful at what I do, but I am getting this much fulfillment out of it.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. And so it's like I need to take a self-evaluation and really, because the other part is being quiet. That's one of my biggest fears.
Being quiet?
Alone.
Oh, being alone?
Like quiet.
Oh.
At night, I have to I have to watch TV. If I'm camping in the middle of nowhere by myself, I put my phone on with music because I can't not have something distracting a little bit of what's going on in here, because then I have to face what's really here.
You want to go there, don't you?
No, we will later. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, and I've realized that like there's a show Alone, and everyone's like, "Oh, Brent, you do great at it because it's the outdoors and you're all alone and all that kind of stuff." I'd fail. I'd fail after 5 days because I'd be like, I can't handle being myself with my thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I suppress because it's like, oh, just be happy-go-lucky. That's what you're known for. That's what everyone knows is you're a hard worker, happy-go-lucky. And I am, and it's not that it's a depression or anything. I just know there's things I have to address in order to make that move, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Where you cut that safety net and be confident in the ability to go cut that safety net.
Yeah.
Because right now that confidence is lacking.
Yeah. Well, and one thing you cannot do is compare.
For sure.
Compare is like the other safety net. It's like the one you got to do first. Because so when I was down with this guy group, right? Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of guys. There's always posturing, right?
Of course, big peacock.
Yeah, and it wasn't really bad down there, but you can tell it's just like a natural inclination. It's like, well, that guy's got 10 more bucks than me, so he's 10 more bucks more successful. Yeah. It's like, dude, like I'm like 10 years past using finances to define my success. Mm-hmm. Like that is a bad move, right? Because you can never stop. Mm-hmm. There's always more money. There's always, someone who's richer than you. You know what I mean? Like I'm an idiot if I think I can be Elon Musk.
Yeah.
There's many reasons I'm not Elon Musk, right?
Yeah.
There's many reasons why no one's Elon Musk. You know what I mean? And so making financial goals to me are very tricky because people kind of define themselves by how much money they made, which is bad. And so I think it's more like paint your life the way you want your life to be, figure out what that costs, and then build it into the process, build it into the system, you know? Because quite frankly, if you had $250,000 a year for the rest of your life in an annuity, you're golden.
Yeah.
You would actually stop caring about working so much. You would really focus on the most important things. Let's say there's an inflation adjustment to that, right?
Yeah, right.
But you know what I mean? But yeah, you know? And so you just don't want to be, your success is not defined by finances. It just really isn't.
And this is where I've struggled. So with finances, I've done well, but due to cancer and being faced with hey, you're gonna die. My life goal has been create memories, and so the finances I wouldn't say I want to define by finances because my whole life has been create as many memories with your kids because you will die and that's all they have.
Yeah.
Not the financial side, but just the pictures and the memories and whatever it is that you could possibly do. But you still you can't turn away from the financial side of it.
Yeah.
And I did because it was like, hey, every dollar I made, I spent because it was like, hey, we're going here, we're going on a trip, we're going to go create as many memories. And it wasn't until years ago that I realized, hey, you're past that window. They told you that you were going to die.
Right.
And if you were to die today, your family's screwed. Like you have nothing set up. I mean, they were not screwed. There's life insurance and stuff, but okay, they get a couple $100,000. You know, your kids, you didn't really do yourself any favors of helping your children in the life. But then the self-realization of, I'm not dead. So what am I doing? So I would say I got behind the curve a little bit, and that's where the next 10 years has been, is like, how do I then make up for that time that I did where I spent every dollar I made to make sure that my kids had a great life, but they were even too young to remember it. So it was like, I shouldn't have done that. But now I'm in this position where I'm trying to just set it up to where I don't want hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
That is not appealing to me. What I want is just comfort and being able to take care of my wife and my kids and just debt free, have some money, go do what I want to go do. But it's never been this, go make as much money as possible.
Yeah.
Because in facing the cancer thing, the smaller things in life don't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like, you have to take a step back and say, okay, you face death. You understand that what you could lose, and it's not the dollars in your bank account.
No.
And so, but I have to figure, I'm still chasing the dollars in my bank account.
That's a barrier, though.
It is a barrier.
See, when you say I'm behind the curve, that's a barrier.
Yeah.
So we just need to have a long night where we have a long night together, and I'll just list every barrier you have because it's easy for me. It's hard going through them and breaking them. But see, you've done what most people dream of doing, is creating a whole bunch of memories.
For sure.
You know? I mean, I just basically told you that, 30 minutes ago, where I'm like, yeah, I've missed a lot of my kid's life, because I was out there, whatever, making money, I guess, But yeah, I mean, yeah, you just gotta like free your mind, man. You gotta free your mind of all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's the fear of being quiet.
But don't be quiet. Who says you have to be quiet?
No, but it's actually sitting and looking at myself.
Yeah.
I've avoided that for a lot of years.
Well, let's do that.
Because then there's the failures. But I mean, failures are for success. But you talk about, I've had some lovely shit in my life happen.
Yeah.
Part of it, me causing it. And then, of course, part of it, not having anything to do with me. But it's sitting down and actually figuring that out.
Yeah. What you can do.
I have a question for you.
You're like the fourth brother, dude.
I know. I'm like the half brother. Your parents did let me move into the house for a while.
Exactly, dude.
Me and Nibbles, dude.
That's my cat. No, actually, sorry. My mom's cat.
Yeah, that
sure as hell wasn't my
There's
cat.
no way that's your cat. Nibbles would come in and cuddle with me at night in the unfinished part of your parents' big ass house.
Oh, yeah.
Cancer.
Yeah.
I've never asked my friends truly how that impacted them. Because one of the things I've wanted to do on a podcast or a video, and what I learned when I went through cancer was this cancer isn't just mine. It's the people around me as well. Yeah. And I think people, when they get a disease like that, and it's all about them. Everyone's giving them attention. Everyone's, doing that. And I pushed a lot of people away. I pushed you guys away. I pushed you and Michelle away.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would be easier on my friends and family if I were to die, having them cutting that off.
Yeah.
And so it obviously affected a lot of relationships at that point. But I wanted to ask you, because I really haven't asked anyone of what that was like, even for you, seeing someone you knew go through that on an outside, because you saw the divorce. You saw my wife leaving me as I was going through that. Like we were very close at that time, but I was so blinded about cancer.
Yeah.
And so I would love to know what your thoughts or perspective, or what you and Michelle saw going through that time frame.
Well, man, your cancer was interesting. Now that you say that, it's funny. I would not have defined it as a time where you eliminated me from your life per se. I can't speak for Michelle. Michelle's her own, her own thing. I was more privy to the divorce,
for sure,
which was insane. You know, we went to that burger place that one time.
Yeah, it was JCW. I remember that day.
Oh yeah, she was just tripping balls, and I was like, but I was so young then too, right? How old were you when you first got
23.
cancer? Yeah, so I was 24.
So 24.
Yeah. Barely, I've been married for 2 years, and it was just like, is this real? With cancer too, it's like, is this like your dead cancer? Or is this like, you got to go through some stuff cancer? Like, and you were pretty private about it all.
Very private.
Yeah. And so.
And it was your dead cancer is what they told me, even though it wasn't.
Well, I mean, one of the things I remember is you just eating pineapple all the time at work, right? Because you had to like raise your acidity to kill it or something.
Your alkaline and acidic levels.
Yeah.
If I get my acidic levels down and my alkaline, I can kill it.
Yeah, just naturally just,
yeah.
You know.
That didn't work.
So, I mean, I felt real bad about the divorce stuff. I mean, and then you remarried her and got divorced again, right?
Hey, thanks for bringing that up, Brent, too.
but we know the reasons. You had kids, for hell's sakes, dude. I mean, you're doing what you thought was right. I mean, I've always respected you because you've always done what you thought was right.
Yeah.
You know? It would have been really hard if you would have passed away then, for sure. I mean, I'd still be remembering you to today, guaranteed.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been a major part of my life for, as long as I can remember. You know, when did you become friends with Brett? Like 13?
No.
14?
Well, 15.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the first day of high school. That's a funny story.
Oh, I bet.
If I could tell that on this podcast.
Dude, tell it, man.
We talked, so I go into Yoakum's class, who was a gem. He talked about killing himself and missed shotgun, blew a hole in his garage. He's a dumb teacher. But
wow.
First day.
Public schooling?
Yeah, public schooling. Go to it. Him and Jake were sitting next to each other. Never knew these guys, and they obviously were on the Bears. I was on an Eagles, so I was...
You got to explain what that means.
So
we were Highland Bears, and you were Alpine Eagles football.
I was Alpine Eagles football, and we were rivals, so I was the outcast in the group. But I walk in, and these two are talking, and I have no idea who they are. And Brett hits me on the shoulder. He's like, hey, quick question for you. I'm like, what? He's like, how do you pee with morning wood? I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, do you like do the Heisman, or do you like lean up against the wall or something like that? And I'm like, I like you guys. And so ever since then, we became buddies.
Seriously? That is hilarious.
All over peeing with morning wood. So, 15 years old.
Yeah.
But
you know, I really remember you in braces.
I had them my whole high school career. I had them from 9th grade till after I graduated.
I know, it was insane. It was insane, dude. So you must have had them when I met you for the very first time.
Sure.
Yeah, I distinctly remember, like, I can't remember if we had a conversation about it or if I was just talking to someone about it. I was like, when does Brent get his braces off? This dude's had braces for 30 years. We were only 20.
The funny thing is, I got them off the day they did. No, I got them on the 9th grade picture, and then I got them off the 12th grade picture.
Oh, so the whole time.
It's the yearbook that they do the whole senior class. Yeah, I'm not in those.
Oh, yeah.
Because of braces. So 4 freaking years.
How are they? Give me a big smile.
No, I don't want to talk about it. because
and the bugger didn't wear his retainer.
No, I did. But then right before my mission, a buddy of mine that I was working with, we were doing finish carpentry. I was carrying a saw out of the garage, and he threw a rock. He kept throwing rocks at me, and I was like bobbing and weaving, and then it hit my 2 front teeth and chipped. So these are fake.
Both of them are fake?
Yeah. And then I had a big gap, but then I just recently chipped this one, and so the dentist
just filled in for you.
This one's like bigger than that one. So 4 years of braces went down the drain.
Oh, that is
stupid. Making out with girls. I bumped faces with one, cut her lip.
Oh, with your braces on?
Yeah.
Nice.
It was good times.
I never made a girl bleed from kissing, for sure.
Awkward.
My bad. Dude, that is funny, man.
Yeah, braces.
Freaking dude. Oh, yeah, dude, I came home from my mission. You hadn't left yet, you know. The story of my wife is hilarious, you know.
I cannot believe that you guys I was only home for a week. Because when did you guys meet? Or I hadn't left yet. Sorry.
Yeah, you hadn't left yet. That night. I mean, October 2016,
I left like
something?
November 9th.
Yeah. It was a little bit before my birthday, if I remember right.
So I didn't realize that I took her, or you guys went on a date, and then 2 weeks later I was gone.
Yeah.
I remember you getting married, and I was like, those sons of bitches. They didn't wait for me.
Well, we were both virgins. We were ready to roll.
I was like, dude, I did this.
Yeah, you did.
You didn't even wait for me?
We waited for Brett to get home from his mission. So
a lot of us waited for Brett on our wedding, if you recall. Do you remember that one on my wedding?
No.
Oh my gosh, Mark.
Where was he? Was he Summer Cells or something?
No, so you're in the temple with me.
Yeah.
Brett's my best man. This is the first.
This is kind of coming back to me.
This is the first marriage, okay? we're all in the ceiling room. Everyone's in there except for Brent. And we're like, and the guy's like, hey, is everyone here? And I said, no, we're waiting for one more. And you hit me and you're like, hey, he ain't coming. I'm like, what do you mean he ain't coming? And he's like, he's not coming. I'll talk to you afterwards. And I'm like, okay. So I go ahead and get married. And then when we get done, you tell me Brett's in a medical clinic study. that he was making money. And him and George were going to try and leave.
I remember this, yeah.
But they told him that they wouldn't pay him any money if they left.
Yeah.
So they stayed in the study for my wedding.
No, they legit thought, yeah, dude, it was like 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it? It was way long.
Yeah.
It might have been 3. I don't want to misquote it, but it
was long.
Yeah, they thought it was like freaking
like
per
5
diem.
days in.
Yeah, they thought that they could just like check out of there, and they're just like, absolutely not.
So I'm in the ceiling room, and you're like, he ain't coming. He's like, just go, get married. So he made it on the second one, but kind of made up.
Oh, good for him.
He was the only one.
I still remember him telling me he was doing that. I was like, wait, what? And he was just like, yeah, we're going to go in there. They're going to like test the stuff on us. I'll probably get a placebo. And I was like, probably? What are they testing you for? And he was just like, I have no idea. I'm like, you're one step up from a rat?
Stuff, yeah, random stuff.
Oh, dude.
But he missed my freaking wedding.
Dude, if you know Brett, I cannot believe they didn't have to tie him to a bed.
For real.
He has the worst cabin fever than anyone I've ever met.
Oh, yeah.
And he was in, I swear it was 3 weeks. It was like 21 days.
I just remember him it was like 5 days in, he was trying to get out. And they're like, hey, we won't pay you anything if you leave today.
It was almost like you're going to screw the study up too.
Yeah.
Because it's a controlled setting. That's the whole freaking thing.
So freaking sucker. I just remember looking at you and he's like, he ain't coming. I'm like, what are you talking about? This girl's supposed to be the most important, but he was the most important. Yeah. But it was funny.
He's still in your life too?
He is, dude. 20 whatever years later.
Oh, that is funny. I know we're getting freaking old, dude. You haven't even hit 40 yet.
39, 2 weeks ago. My knees are gone. My back's gone.
I can't wait for your party next year, though.
40's going to be a big one.
Yeah. We going to do it in the state or we're going to go out? Country? Inside the country?
I think another country would be a good move.
Let's do it.
Very select group, though.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't know where to do it. Go over to the gorge.
Plan something. A couple of my friends didn't plan anything, and I'm looking at them like, dude, where's your YOLO?
40's a big deal. I missed your 40th. I feel horrible about that.
I know.
Yeah, I feel horrible about that.
Where were you on that?
When's your birthday?
October 23rd.
October 23rd.
I think you were hunting.
No.
I'll forgive you. Elk? Rabbit?
No, elk's I was hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the big hunt.
Yeah.
I normally do Deer Widower's weekend out in Wendover where I strip for all the for all the ladies just like
No, yeah.
I come out with a big shotgun.
I was guiding, so that's what sucks is the year ahead you get a guide and you can't really cancel. But Laura went.
Oh, she did actually. Yeah, she was one of the 300 or 400 people that were there that loved me. And
she supported you. Me. Just Mark's all great. El Presidente. So
dude, my 40th, I just thought, screw it, dude. I'm gonna freaking blow some money and throw a party and just bring everybody.
I heard it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Been there. I heard it was a really good time.
Yeah,
but I was freezing my nuts off.
I bet you were. It does not sound fun. I know you're always like, I love hunting, and I'm like,
hey, you're hiking a lot.
A lot. I've been on 2 hikes.
That's a lot compared to the last 20 years.
Yes, that's 200% more than I've done in the last 20 years.
Keep hiking and let's go hunting.
Okay. Here's my thing. I just say yes to everything.
South Africa in April?
Sure. South Africa. Wait, South Africa?
I'm going to Africa in April.
In April?
Safari.
All right.
You don't have to hike on that one. That one's super.
I was going to say, we're going to be in...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll drive.
No, South Africa in April, but get your butt.
Who's all going? Is that a boys' trip or is that like a wife's? Bringing the wives?
So the South Africa trip, that's what's nice. That's why I did that one. It's like a spa for the women.
Yeah.
So if they want to go with the men, they can go out hunting, or if they just want to hang back and have a spa day, pool day.
Yeah.
They have a winery there. They have a lot of that kind of stuff, and so. The women can go and hang out if they want to, or they can actually go and hunt on the safari. I'm going to do great white shark diving on the coast of South Africa, you're not in with the actual sharks, you're in the cage, but that's one of my bucket lists. So you got to do that. Have you ever done shark diving?
No, I jumped off a cliff once.
Is that a fear bigger than cliff?
I don't, no, I mean, if you're in a cage, it's like whatever, right?
Go YouTube it. Sometimes they get through the cage.
Do they really? I've seen them kind of come over top.
Yeah.
Do you get a gun?
No.
Do the guys outside have a gun?
No, I don't know. Who cares? It's over.
Me?
Yeah,
I would like my head to be.
So what they do is they take a piece of animal and they put it in front of the cage, and you're in there, and then the great white comes and chomps on that piece of animal, but it's
right in front of you, right?
It's this close, right in front of you.
Well, sometimes they're like tails whip the cage, and you get a little rush out of that.
But it's like the only place you can go do that is South Africa.
I need to do that. I'll tell you why I need to do that. So you know the cliff I jumped off of that I just went on and on about?
Yeah.
There is like one footage of tape of me because I went first. There's no like overhead drones.
Wait.
I had to go. I made the decision like 5 hours before that.
So no footage.
Very little.
Gotta get some cool footage.
I need some more footage of my life. My Instagram could be so much cooler. Yeah.
You and Michelle need to come on that trip. It's just me and my buddy Tanner and his wife so far.
All right.
But
oh, I've got a lot of dudes that would roll down there in a second.
I'd love to fill the camp with just people.
Yeah, let's do the whole thing.
We're gonna go, and there's gonna be other people there that we don't know, which is fine. You become friends with them over the week.
Yeah.
But if I had people that knew who everyone was, and we just got like 5 couples down there.
Dude, is this where we like fly to Paris and then gotta go all the way down to?
No, we were gonna do that, but I don't want to. It was England, London.
Oh, it was London you go down?
So you go to London.
That's a long way though. People don't realize it.
Yeah, but now you can go to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta you fly down.
Straight?
Mm-hmm. Well, you go to Johannesburg, and from Johannesburg you go to Port Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a little hopper though, right?
Yeah, it's just a little hopper. And then we're in Grahamstown is what it's called, is where we're hunting. But can you shoot an animal?
Better than you.
Oh, Lord.
I'm just kidding, dude. I really can't shoot better than you. I can shoot better than most people.
But like mentally, can you do that?
Oh, we've talked about this, huh? I think I can kill an animal.
Harvest. Let's use the proper
harvest.
Yeah, you harvest it now. No, I'm just kidding. It's killing.
Harvest sounds like it's dead already.
Yeah, no.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. I really don't. I don't know. I didn't like killing the rabbits. That time we killed the rabbits.
If anything,
I'm not like some PETA guy, but like
but do the shark diving. We're gonna do shark diving. We're gonna do. You're hunting right on the ocean.
Yeah.
So as you're hunting, you're right there at the ocean. The girls can go to the ocean. They can hang out. They can do all that. But
yeah, maybe I'll get like one to get mad at me or something. Then I'll shoot it.
They're $100. That sounds
just to shoot one.
Yeah, that sounds really bad of me just throwing out dollars of like how cheap it is to shoot a baboon. But they say as you're sitting there in the blind, they'll take a crap in their hands and throw it at you. And so
might do it.
So you get so mad at them, you just shoot them because no one goes to shoot a baboon. But
yeah,
you end up doing it.
If I kill a baboon, though, I'm stuffing that thing and it's going to be in my house somewhere.
The European skulls are awesome on them, which is like just the skull.
Oh yeah.
Because they have the fangs and stuff. So we're gonna go down there and do that.
We'll have to see. I'm definitely going, and yeah, we'll figure it out.
I'll call tomorrow. Put you on the books.
Good for me. What? Yeah, April. Yeah, whatever. Dude, for like the last 2 years. So like last year in October, I stopped watching the news.
Good.
Best decision I've ever made in my life. If I want to be lied to, I'll call up someone that lies to me all the time. I'm trying to think of someone. I'm trying to eliminate those people. You lie to me more than 3 times, it's just like, bye.
Yeah, see you later.
I can't handle your buffoonery. And then like 2 years ago, because I just got this like whole experience thing where I'm just like, I want to experience stuff. It's part of the reason why I joined the guy group, because it's just like, sure, let's do it. Let's go freaking do it, you know? So yeah, I like doing that a lot. So yeah, I mean, what the freak? Let's go do it.
South Africa.
You know, it's only money.
Yeah, it's only money, but it's memories.
Way better memories than money.
That's the best part about it is it's memories.
Yeah. Getting my wife to South Africa actually might be the hard part. I'm going to assume that's on her list of, I don't care if I ever go to this country. But.
Why?
Because it's Michelle, you know my babe.
I know, but she can sit at the pool all day or go to the spa.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I'm not saying no, but we'll
go to the
It's going to take some convincing.
I'll have a PowerPoint presentation ready for her. I'll come over and do the couples retreat presentation.
Oh, that would be funny. In fact, that's exactly what we should do.
Have everyone come
I'm
sit
in
down.
bed. Go crazy. Oh, that show, that's one of the few that have got me going pretty good.
Yeah. I'll present something for her.
All right.
It'll all be tailored to her. Why this would be fun as a.
You have to pretend you're getting divorced again, and it's the only way to save it.
My track record is going for a third time. I thought I might give who a third chance. I've told Laura, I'm like, yeah, why not? Three times. Let's see how it goes.
You got me stunned. He's joking.
Totally joking. We'll go back.
Why not though? Why not? Whatever.
Try it out.
YOLO.
No, I don't want to do that.
Oh, that'd be freaking funny, dude. Yeah, that's the thing too, man. I mean, I've got a couple friends, and they get rid of the girlfriends of their wives, and they're kind of like, well, what do you think if I went back? It's like, do whatever you want. You're my friend. Even when you're an idiot, you're still my friend. I was
an idiot.
I
got another kid out of it, which is good, but
yeah. It's awesome. Maddie's awesome.
Maddie is awesome. But yeah, you fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't want to be George Bush right now where he's just like 1, 7, 3, 4, me, you. Anyways, it's bad.
So, yeah, yeah. We don't need to go down that road.
All right, my friend.
Okay, brother.
I need you to give me 2 minutes of your best advice. I ask everyone to do this, and I forgot to prep you, so
no, you're
this
good.
is getting real raw.
I mean, we've touched on it a little bit, but anytime I'm talking with people, I say slow down. Life is all about the rat race right now, and we miss very important pivotal moments of not just for us, but the people around you.
Yeah.
And so I think I've experienced this with my children, going back to the creating memory side, is slow down just for a minute to focus on what's important.
Yeah.
Not, hey, I want to be lazy and that kind of stuff, but it's take the time to really look at what's important around you, who's important around you, and making sure that their lives are better because you're in it, and it's pushing you to become a better person. So I would say some of the advice I give all the time is just slow down, pay attention, because it's really easy to get caught up in what's going on all day long, rat race.
Yeah.
And so slow down, create memories, and make sure your kids know that you're there and that you're present. And that's probably the most important thing for me. And it's just slowing down and making sure that they know that.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it's a lot of be in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's too much. We overreact to a lot of stupid crap in life.
Yeah.
And if we just take a second to stop and take a step back and assess, you don't really have to get all wound up about stuff. And that's where it's the same thing with life, is take a step back, look at what this decision or this consequence could be, and it's just slow down for a second. That doesn't mean be lazy, but just put in perspective of what's happening and make sure, especially with family, because I feel like as men, that's one of the things that we get caught up in is the rat race. Money, earn.
Yeah.
But it's, you do sacrifice some time and things you miss out on, and just slow down. Make sure you're on the correct course. And that's what I'm learning right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that to a lot of people, but I have to take that advice too.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you having me come on.
Oh, absolutely.
I would love to.
This will not be the last time.
Not even just this, but we need to talk more. I would ask that you write a letter. That would really mean a lot to me, of an outsider's perspective of who I am.
Yeah.
Because I feel like your family knows me. Outside of the Rasmussens, you the McCormacks and the Rasmussens know me better than even my own family.
Yeah.
I've spent more time with you guys than anyone else on this earth. And so I would appreciate that.
There are very few people I would do that for, and you're one of them.
Thank you. That means a lot.
All right, buddy. Thanks for coming on my show.
Okay, brother.
My 10 or 12 people that listen to this are going to love this episode.
Whatever. This is going to go big. I wore my shirt.
We'll see. Your shirt is going to hit on Instagram, and they're going to be like, dude, a guy with that shirt is going to, I got to listen to him.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the President McCormack Podcast, brought to you by McCormack Foundation, Saxton Fund, ADP Lemco, and Professional Floor Systems. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and keep up with Mark on Instagram @President McCormack.